everybody, it's Mike again with the 74 GMC. Haven't done much video in a little while because I've just been, I guess, doing a lot of thinking and looking around. I will show you in a little bit. I got the mounts on both sides, the body mounts done on both sides, and I'll be going early next week to get some material for completing them, doing probably 3 more aside, one at the front and back of each of the wheel houses, and then one somewhere in the middle between this one and that one, probably close to the edge of the door. I've looked underneath, and it looks like that bolt pattern will work on all of them. There's a set of cross member bolts every place that I want to put one in, so I think that will work. I did play a little bit around with the heating and air conditioning unit. I hooked a vacuum pump up and 12 volts to the fan to see if I could move air to all the different locations, and I can. I had to free one door up, but other than that I can. I'm still not sure. My thoughts have been to put like a vintage air system in it, and that's what I had a conversation with Jim Bounds, and that's what he recommends, is gutting that system out of there. He says there's way too many bends in it and 90 degrees, and then, you know, if I did want to use it, I'm going to have to find modern compressor and components that are compatible with that heater box. So not really sure. The other thing I'm going to show you is some fiberglass damage I found on the windshield above, kind of above the driver's area, that I'll have to fix. And in order to fix that, I'm going to have to R&R the windshield. I have thoughts of taking the windshields, both of them, out anyway, because I'd like to pull the rest of the dash, and that would give me access to all the heating and cooling stuff if I am going to gut that out of there to make room for, like I said, a vintage air system, which is probably the way to go. Modern system and air handlers and everything else. It's just a matter of getting the air to all the ducts and everything the way that you want to. So at that, trying to think of anything else I did. I ended up completely pulling the emergency brake out. The cable basically from there down to under my feet was frozen up, and so I'm going to order a new one of those to put in. Got that taken care of. I'm trying to think of what else I've kind of looked over since we last talked. But the other thing I've decided to do is the engine is going to come out. There's a gentleman in Novi, Michigan, not terribly far, about a 3-hour drive from me, that has the interior hoist to lift it up and get it over to the door, and then I should be able to reach through the door with my cherry picker and take it out. My plan is to just reseal that engine. I don't even know that I necessarily plan to pull the heads, but I'll get it out and take a look at it and try and decide whether, you know, maybe it needs a complete rebuild. I don't know, but like I said, I'll do that, and then I'll take a look at the transmission seal as well. I believe the transmission was done not that long ago before I got the coach, and I had the pan off of it, and there's no debris in the pan. Everything looked pretty good in the pan, so hopefully maybe just a couple of gaskets on that, a seal or something, and that's all we'll do with the transmission. I haven't decided how best to try and document, or video document if you will, the engine removal. I've thought about just kind of putting the camera on and letting it run, but my thought is that's going to be pretty boring, watching me run back and forth to get a different tool for this or that, and you know, I could try and time lapse it at the end, but I'm not really a video editor. That's not really my thing. So what I'll probably just do is some short clips like I've been doing, pause the video and move the camera, and then show something else is probably how I'm going to do it. I'm guessing that anybody that's going to undertake that level of work to remove an engine out of one of these things is going to know how to drain the coolant, you know, is going to know how to, you know, drain the oil and, you know, disconnect wires and label them and things like that. But again, I'll try and show what I can. So again, I thank you for hanging with me and watching, and I hope I'm not boring you. I hope that I'm able to help you. If you have questions, this thing is gutted. So if you have questions, you want to see a specific area of the coach with everything apart that I haven't shown yet, or if you've got a question about something underneath that you want some video of or a look at, I'm glad glad to do some of that for you guys out there. You know, I'd like this to be interactive. Many of you have made suggestions where I'm learning from you and trying to, broaden my knowledge of these things. And everybody has their little tricks that can help folks out. And so I'm looking forward to those things. So let me show you, I guess, this hole in the windshield and these down here. And one more thing is that the body rubber, one of the viewers suggested that while I'm here, I replace all the body rubber, and he's probably exactly right. The issue that the issue that I'm having right now is these mounts that I made are pretty much level with the frame, and they have the same material, same rubber material between them and the body as there is between the body and the frame. But if I'll show you when we get up here, but I have both of those body rubbers from the frame kind of pulled out because I can't get the floor flat with them in. I need this to go down further, so I either need the body to come up higher or those members are just bent. So, all right, let's take a look around here a little bit and we'll go from there. All right, so I got the light kind of shining on this one, and you can see what I'm talking about. The body rubber is not underneath here. And you can see there's the thing painted and installed, the body brace painted and installed. And the level's not terrible with that out, especially if I kind of come in here and weigh this down a little, you can see that that level's pretty good. So, and the rubber won't fit quite in, but we'll figure that out. And then you can see that nice stainless steel fastener. That's one thing that I learned on these front body mounts is that that particular fastener is going right through it. So when I put the floor back in and put the rails back down, those aluminum rails that run along the side, the body mounts are in the way of that. So what I did is I drilled a hole, and on this side it was too close to the side of the brace to get a nut on it. So I tapped the bracket, and I realized it's not probably a perfect solution, but I think for this coach it's going to be good enough. On the other side, I was able to drill all the way through and put a nut on the other side. For those of you that are thinking of doing this with a intact coach, where those bolts won't be removed, I think we'll just have to nip the corner off the bracket. And so again, I'm working on a design where basically once these are built, they could be put any place. So they'll have to have the holes in them, different holes in them for the emergency brake cable, for the propane, that type of thing. But that's kind of how I'm going to work it out from a design perspective. And then when I go to pick up the material from Joslin Steel in Traverse City, I'm going to ask them, I'll take my drawings and ask them what it would cost to blank that material out, and then what it would cost to actually fab those, make them up so that, if you could call them and say, hey, I want to buy, Mike's body brackets for the GMC Motorhome, and they could tell you that it'd be, $200 or whatever. I don't know. So just another thought, another way for people to get it done that maybe don't have welding and cutting capabilities. So let me show you this last thing that I discovered, and that's right here. Ooh, just about fell. It's a problem with having the floor partially out, but you can see up there's some fiberglass damage. If I use my finger and kind of peel this down, it goes all the way to the edge of the lip. And that's why I think I need to R&R the windshield, and in order to fix that particular item. That thing you see hanging in the front of the windshield is the windshield retention rubber or rope. So again, I'm going to talk with Jim Bounds about what it takes to pull those windshields. I've got a couple of friends that'll help me. My big concern is storing them when they're not in the coach while I'm working on it. So keep them safe. Again, I thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, ask questions. Hopefully we can all work together to keep these old girls on the road. Thank you again. Bye.